So while finally he was open, he was so eager to leave the room, so he sticked his finger by the door. If you're eating, please stop, because I don't want to be too graphic, but it's a scary part. And there was a fabrengen, and late at night, someone, for whatever reason, pulled the door right back. And let's put it this way, this bacher needed to have an attention of a top surgeon to be able to put intact back that was damaged. 2 days later, this very teacher has a younger kid in 3rd grade who is driving his bike to all the Torah in front of 706 Eastern Parkway on his wheels crossing the street. Children, not a good idea. Get off your bike when you cross the street, okay? Not only because that's the law, because that's the common sense, it's seichel, it's pashat pikuach nefashos. One day you'll drive a car, you'll understand the driver cannot expect a bike or a scooter to come in. He's only expect pedestrian, and that's what happened with this driver, which is a little bit, I don't know what. A car, a SUV, a big white van came down Brooklyn Avenue, taking a left on Eastern Parkway. Probably the sun is in its eyes, and maybe the driver was drunk, we don't know. But you can see it in a video, they have the footage. Hitting the little poor boy from 3rd grade once. Throwing him with his bike on the floor. The car didn't stop, nor hesitate, nor slow down. Continued to drive like business as usual. And pushing and dragging the kid for about 15, 20 feet. To let you know, the bike of that child is beyond repair. 2 tires of the car went over that bike, so the bike is total. Nebach, the coat of that child, big loss and damage, torn and shredded to pieces. They need to buy a new coat. A button on his pants was flattened down from some sort of impact of what happened. But the child, unarmed, was able to attend school shortly after he needed to be observed for about a day. Now I want to go a little further to the story, guys. This very dear melamed to me, which I love, because he's a chosid and a Baal Mesiras Nefesh and a Edelkeit and a Baal Shemski chosid. Like all of us and all of you very lucky children that Itatis are the Navy SEALs of Lubavitch, if you know what does it mean. Here in this room tonight. Few hours before the incident, this Rebbe was waking up in the middle of the night, he couldn't sleep. You know why he couldn't sleep? Because his first son, or hurt his finger, was in agony and in pain, screaming, couldn't fall asleep because the pain medicine didn't help for the bad injury he had on Sunday night. So this teacher also couldn't sleep. He doesn't remember clearly if it was before he woke up or after he went back to sleep, sometime between 3 and 4 in the morning. Or Le'yoyim Shlishi Yud Beis Kislev Hey Toshin Pei Beis here in Granite in front of Oholei, back to this teacher's home. He has a dream. I heard it from him. He said it publicly quite a few times. Guys, it's an authentic story. Pirsum Rishon in this type of stage. And I can ask you if you know who he is and who our kids are. Don't bother them. It was very hard for them to compromise their privacy, but they were willing to do it for the sake of the Kiddush Hashem and the Pirsum Melissa. The father had a dream that he's in 770 upstairs in Zal, like a child many years ago, the way he looked like in a picture which he found recently. And the Rebbe is looking at him from where the stage of the Bima in 770 upstairs towards the Oren Kodesh. The shul was rather empty, some people stayed to the side. And the Rebbe was looking at him and motioning him something towards the door of the foyer of 770. He couldn't understand, so the Rebbe said it a second time. He finally realized the Rebbe wanted him to open the door. So he went and he opened the door. And then the Rebbe turned back to him with kind of a question mark, which he interpreted and understood what did he understood in the first place. This is few hours before his son's life were being saved. And as teacher, one of our friends' kids, the whole Chabura, has to do Simcha, because the Fum Tzare Agra, God forbid. And therefore, how much more so we should say L'chaim tonight and be happy for this kid. I spoke to a Chassid and he told me a very interesting interpretation of the dream. The Rebbe told the Melamed, don't worry, I have a door going to be open for you. I have my Shamish who's going to help your son and he's going to come back to life from whatever Xer he had. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to see the footage of the car accident that took place over here less than 2 weeks ago. As soon as the kid got up, there was a little car with a front door open towards him, with a yid with a long white beard, and the kid ran into that yid and gave him a big hug and asked for his shelter. This yid is Reb Chaim Baruch Halberstam. If you know, he's taking care of the doors and locks in 770 for many years, especially recently. So the interpretation I heard from a chassid is if the Rebbe is telling this teacher, I'm opening my doors and I'm going to send someone to save you. My message by Imamahem Bizman Hazeh, ladies, gentlemen, we don't know how lucky we are. We don't know how many nissim we have in Bon, Chaim, Ezra, and children, be proud. Your fathers are the front fighters. Because of them, Crown Heights is alive. The world is alive. Mashiach will come. And we're going to say those nissim for us again and again and again. And I'm coming towards the end. Chanukah and Oholei Torah are synchronized. It's the same idea. On Chanukah, you didn't really need to have pure oil. There's a halacha to mahut chabetzibur. You can make regular oil. However, because it was chinuch, and because it was the beginning, and because you didn't want to thank Hashem that the shemen wasn't nitma, the chochmas chitzonius did not penetrate Oholei Torah at that time. That's why we're celebrating Chanukah today. We are like the Brunei in France, so we are the Oholei Torah in New York. Despite the fact that Bochum going on Mivtzoim, but here's unequivocal, unapologetic, and uncompromised. Chinuch al Taharas HaKodesh, and hoffentlich nächsten Jahr können wir reden auf Mama-Loschen und bewahren, als wir die Kinder verstehen die Sprache. We'll start one step at a time. And thank you for the Malamdim who put in such a big effort, as unsere Teile Yiddish Kinder können reden, die Sprache von Rabbi Yisrael und Yisrael. And this opportunity, on behalf of my friends, Melamdim, Oivdim, workers, bus drivers, kitchen staff, on top and the bottom, moras of all Katzvei table of Oholei Torah, I want to thank the Hanhola Gashmis, as he called an English board. Thank you very much for going out of your way, day and night, to making this beautiful Gashmis over here, and doing it at the dinner, and doing it in the paychecks, and doing it on time, and doing it before, while, and after Corona, and renovating the classes with the bathrooms, with the buildings, with Al Smedaf, and hiring Melamdim, Emnalim, Yerushalayim, Baalimidis Toivos, sensitive people, caring people, good people. Without that, you're going to be Matzliach. Void Voikar, allow me to throw you my 2 cents. This year campaign of the yeshiva was the most successful historic-wise, for one reason only. Because that's what Hashem decided in heaven. But the Keli Begashmis was because this year, no child in Oholei Torah was involved in raising money. The campaign was involved only with geld with the adult, and the children was able to dedicate their life to live with the Torah Kedosha like Rabbi Zainu want us. I totally get it. If I'll be Menal Gashmi, I'll be terrified. I can make another buck. Why would I stop? I can get the kids to talk to the father and the grandfather and the rich grandfather. Aber, just like the Ness of Chanukah is L'mal Mederech HaTeva, and it can burn for 8 days. The more we're going to go back to our sources and to our roots and uncompromise Yiddishkeit, the more money you will make. Next time, 50 million, 20 million, billions. Think big. And we're going to be with you. And we're going to bless you. We're going to support you. Continue that way. Shakoyach from the depths of our heart. The Nissim and the Floys are running. During Corona, the school was open. Not only for us, but for the whole world. But with Mesiras Nefesh, started with the computer and going back to the normal way to the Sfarim. The Eibshter help us game Chayil Choyel. With the Mofasim and the Nissim Mahaim. With the Uwe Ben Ein Dem Ander. And I'm proud to be a teacher here. And I'm humbled to be in front of you. Moras, Rebbes, tired, beautiful children. You're so lucky. When Mashiach will come, you will say, my father fought in the forefront, and because of them Mashiach came. And he will. So take a benediction, Yechi Adonenu, Mereinu Rabbeinu, Melech HaMashiach, Le'elam Vod. Chaim, Chaim L'Bracha.
Raising the Shekayah, going to talk about Nissim. Without further ado, we have the one and only Nussi Show.
Thank you. Okay. We're going to start off with some juggling, magic, mind reading. We're going to have stuff for everyone. So are you guys ready? Yeah. This kid's ready. Are you guys in the back ready? Yeah. Okay.
Before we start, I want to tell all the boys, you can come up closer, but no one should pass the black line. You're not allowed to pass the black line.
You can all come up until the black line.
Till the black line. Whereas cheers should go back. Cheers should go back, and the people on the floor should go in front of the cheers until the black line. Off the stage.
And now. Are you guys ready? Okay, here we go. We're gonna start off with some